Falava, Bula Vanaka, and welcome to the inaugural Heritage Hockey Tournament coming to you live from Papatoetoe in Auckland. It is our pleasure to have you here as we celebrate the culmination of culture in hockey and showcase the best talent from our New Zealand Maori, New Zealand Indian, New Zealand Pacifica, and New Zealand development pathways. This tournament is proudly sponsored by the One Foundation, Go Hockey, Keep Alive, Barna Family Farms, Onyx Sports and MTEL. My name is Brad Pittman and I will be here to take you through all the action from the first game of the day, which sees the New Zealand Maori Tāne taking on the New Zealand Indian men. Both teams have come off their respective National Maori and National Indian tournaments late in 2020 and will be eager for their first fixtures together as a team. I'm joined on the call today by Hockey New Zealand's National Tournament Coordinator and New Zealand Development Assistant Coach Regan Bain. Regan, this is a brand new tournament on the calendar for 2021, but from Hockey New Zealand's perspective, it must be pleasing to showcase the diversity in our sport.
Yeah, kia ora Brad and kia ora everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here today out at Colmar and Papatoetoe. One wonderful occasion to be here. Obviously the inaugural New Zealand Hockey Heritage Tournament, which was really only born sort of 8 weeks ago, if I'm honest, and it's sort of come to fruition very, very quickly. But I think this is fantastic to show three fantastic organisations that love their hockey and want to showcase the talent, the flair, the fire that they possess. So it's going to be an exciting 4 days of hockey out here at Colmar, and just looking forward to get stuck in and ready to go and showcase our wonderful game. Absolutely.
It's certainly one of the highlights of this tournament is going to be the pride and the culture that each team and each organisation possess and showcase. Now, this game here is certainly one I'm excited for. I think anybody that's been around hockey in New Zealand knows that Indians versus Maori match would always be a spectacle, and now we finally get to see that one play out. Now, it is a sunny Easter Friday here in Auckland. There's a slight breeze but no cloud cover, and it is going to be warm out there. Perfect conditions for some high-paced hockey. Now, before we kick off, we are 4 17-minute quarters with 2-minute breaks at quarter time and a 5-minute break at half time. All goals are worth 1 point, and if we have a draw at full time, we'll go straight to a penalty shootout. Fortunately for our viewers, I don't think there's going to be a shortage of goal-scoring chances. Both sides are well known for being creative and playing with flair going forward. Now, Regan, what do you expect to see from the New Zealand Indian side?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out firing here. Obviously, we've just talked about this has been the what-if game for many years. So I think the Indians, they'll be looking to show their flair, show their skills, and just sort of attack from the first whistle. They'll sort of look to be led by, I think, Brett Menez, who's out there at the moment, sort of playing a bit of a flat-back cricket shot there in his warm-up. Obviously, son of Jude Menez, who's obviously an Olympian for the Indian national men's team as a goalkeeper, and also the Vantage Black Sticks women's assistant coach now. So, obviously, Jude's got a bit of presence in this team as well. So it's great to see the Indians here, and yeah, as we say, it's going to be an exciting match.
Absolutely. Now, you've played a little bit with some of these New Zealand Maori men's, especially down south. What do you expect to see from this side?
Yeah, as you say, there's some quick strikers up front, and they'll be led by none other than Dylan Thomas, number 2. Obviously, Dylan Thomas, number 1, is also a bit of a running joke that Dylan Thomas and the Vantage Black Sticks men, with the other Dylan Thomas, they sort of tend to be running in the same teams against each other, but we've just got the one Dylan Thomas here today, but he'll look to be a menace and a presence up front, along with Nick Parata from the wonderful Albany Alligators down in Dunedin. So it's great to see Nick out here as well, and yeah, wonderful time.
Awesome. Now, as the teams get ready to walk out and present to our awesome crowd here at Colmar and Papatoetoe, it is a great time to let you guys know that our umpires for the match will be Dan Burt and David Oakley, with Max Beach as the reserve umpire and Richard Baggs as the technical officer. It's exciting. There's a crowd has built up here. Like I said, it is Easter Friday and people are around the area. This is going to be a cracker of a match. We will get into the lineups as they come out, and we may even expect a haka from the New Zealand Maori side.
Yeah, obviously the umpires here, they'll be also very excited for this tournament. It's been a long time coming for lots of them, and we've got some fantastic umpires here for the week, so all the best to them as well. Team Pink this week, so great to see another team here involved here as well, as the two teams are welcomed onto the Colmar facility here in Papatoetoe. And we'll just sort of see the team set up here for the formalities, the walk-ons that we're tend to see throughout international hockey and also throughout domestic tournaments, just a little bit of respect for the crowds and the teams themselves. Obviously, they're the guys on the big stage, so it's quite awesome to acknowledge the two teams out here today. They'll go through and shake each other's hands and into their final huddles. What do you think the final messages will be for this, the Māori team and the Indian team here today, Brad?
I think both coaches will just expect their players to play with some pride, play creative, play what's in front of them, play some eyes-up hockey, and not steer away from the talent and the skill that they have. You know, they are flary, creative players. I think they'll want to play that way and best execute what it is they know. All right, and the lineups here is the New Zealand Indian hockey side. A couple of players to watch out for. Obviously, he's presented as number 9, but is wearing number 12, Kelly and Jerem. He's the captain of the side. He's an exciting attacking player with a lot of speed and skill. Plays for the Hibiscus Dairy Flat Club and Pukekohe Indians. The other one to keep an eye out for will be Xavier Guy. He's wearing number 13. He was the New Zealand Under-21 Player of the Year last year and is an absolute workhorse across the park. The Indian men will be coached by Yogesh Hari, and before we get into the Māori side, here is the haka. Alright, what a way to start our tournament there. The Maori haka led by Hoi Te Mitai Ngātai and Tutirangi Rahuruhi. Fantastic start and exactly what this tournament expects to provide. Now, just quickly, the New Zealand Māori team on the screens there for you now. Players to watch, we mentioned him earlier, is Dylan Thomas. He will be wearing number 18. A phenomenal attacking player. He was the New Zealand Under-21 leading goal scorer at the 2019 Sultan of Johor Cup in Malaysia. And the other of note will be Tenga Rangitauira wearing number 12, an absolute stalwart of Māori hockey. He is the longest serving New Zealand Māori hockey player in its history and will really lead the team around the park, probably playing in a midfield or defensive type role, and will be instrumental to how this team goes. So as we kick off here, it's exciting stuff. We've got the New Zealand Indians in white and the New Zealand Māori team in the black singlets. And we are ready for kickoff here at Kolmar in Papatoetoe, Auckland.
As we just wait for the final moments to pass by, what's your tip today, Brad? Who are we picking?
It's always tough. We haven't seen these guys play yet, but I am going to go the New Zealand Māori side by 2 goals. Regan, what about you?
I'm going to give the people what they want, and we're going to go a 2-2 draw, and we're going to see our first shootout of the tournament. Just a reminder that, of course, if we do have a draw, we head to a shootout for all games at this tournament, which is fantastic to see. So we see the New Zealand Māoris just sort of trying to hold the ball here at the back, try and build some possession up. Obviously, a big key in hockey is obviously having the ball and possession as we've come to expect.
It looks like we've started with Tūwhare Toa Hape at the back for the New Zealand Māori men, and Hoi Te Mitai Ngātai playing out at a left defender role. Now, he has some explosive pace going forward, so don't be surprised to see a potential little overlap on that side of the field as the game progresses and he looks to use his skill.
As we see a nice press there from the New Zealand Māoris to start and got the Indians on the back foot really early here. Obviously a great bit of pressure put on by the Māoris and sort of first attacking play underway. So it's great to see. As we said, we expected these teams to come out firing and it looks like we're going to get that. So Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for a fantastic game of hockey. So we see a second aerial ball out of the defence from the New Zealand Indians. Brad, do you think that'll be a threat for them today? Is that sort of aerial bomb straight up the middle of the field? Or
Yeah, I mean, they've used it twice already, and I mean, we talk about keeping possession, but it looks like they want to get the ball to their strikers as quickly as possible. We mentioned, again, there's the aerial ball. We mentioned how aggressive and attacking both of these sides will be, so it's not a surprise to see them try and get early ball to their strikers.
Absolutely, and we see Xavier Guy, as we've talked about, New Zealand Under-21 Player of the Year last year, playing a bit of a right half today, but you look to see him sort of ghost up the field and promote forward and really look to add a bit of flair going forward for this Indian side.
So it looks like the New Zealand Maori side is starting with a back three, just one singular centre defender with two very quick and mobile outside defenders in Te Heraka Chase and Hoia Timitai Ngātai, who I mentioned earlier. I would say they will use Tenga, who is on the ball at the moment, as much as possible through that midfield. It's unfortunate there. It was the right idea, not quite executed. But you can see both teams are wanting to attack. They want to go forward. They want to see the ball in the attacking circle and are happy to push that pass to their strikers.
Absolutely, and we see both teams sort of actually sitting more in a three-quarter press now when they're letting the defenders out there, but obviously the Māoris are sitting back, but the Indians have come forward here at a bit of pace, but well defended by the Māori side, and they're going to get a nice sideline hit here, so bit of attacking flair both ways, but nothing to come to fruition so far.
Yeah, I think as both teams look to play a little longer or quicker out of the back, as teams will just be aware of protecting their midfield as much as possible, so likely to see a little more of that three-quarter press just to ensure they don't get cut through the middle early on in the match.
So we see Xavier Guy on the ball. We'll probably expect to see that a bit today as sort of leads from the back there. Nice little aerial ball through, and the Indians straight into the circle. Got a ball coming across.
That's cleaned up fantastically well by Harley Cooper. He's a North Harbour man, played a lot of NHL and a lot of New Zealand Maori hockey. He will be a big physical presence in the goal there. So the Indian team are going to have to be on their game in front of goal.
I think we could call Harley Copper a bit of a stalwart of New Zealand Māori hockey as well, or even hockey in New Zealand in general. The legend of the man, he's been around for a number of years and one that everybody knows. What a guy and what a keeper. So yep. First save from Harley, 1 for 1.
Yep, absolutely. He takes a lot of pride in his work in front of the cage, and I know playing for the Māori team brings that out of him even more so. So certainly expect a performance put on by Harley. We see a little bit of it's a little scrappy here. Certainly not to my surprise. Both of these teams like to play with the ball. They like to use 3D skill. They like to eliminate opposition defenders. It's just going to take a little bit of getting their passes to the right players, knowing where their teammates are going to be, and it is the first match of the tournament. So don't be surprised by a little bit of back and forth hockey to start this match.
As you just say that, Brad, we see another double turnover as the Māoris come straight back at the Indians here. Nice circle penetration, but again, well defended by the Indian side.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's early in the tournament. I'd like to see both teams start to build that next pass as they enter the circle. It's getting a little one out as they enter the circle, but that will come with time together and time on the pitch.
Absolutely, as we see another beautiful aerial ball again. That's the fourth or fifth one that the Indians have had out of defence so far, and it's really paying off for them. Maybe the Māoris to counter this. Do you think they'll try and sit back a wee bit and just sort of hold the landing zone, or do you think they keep that aggressive press up?
I think Tenga, who is playing in that midfield role, and Stephen Atkinson, who you see on the ball there, are both very intelligent hockey players, and if they see that continuing to happen, they will make the adjustments on the fly. They're both, like I said, very skilled players, and will make those moves. As we see our first penalty corner awarded to the New Zealand Maori side. First real look and see what set pieces the Maori side have attacking, and what the New Zealand Indian side have in a defensive corner.
Yeah, absolutely. First chance of the game really coming up right here. Obviously, Brad, what do you think the Māoris will be looking for here? Sort of anything on the cage, I think, would be key to start with. Test out this goalkeeper. See what the Indians have got. Have we got a flicker here for the Māori side?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say there will be two brackets set up here. We look at Jacob Balkake on the second and Tufari Hapi on the first. Jacob scored a ripper of a goal in the New Zealand Māori hockey final at the second bracket. And we've gone narrow, bit of a mistake, breakdown, and save. So not exactly what they were looking for. I think they were going the flick option. Breakdown, like I said, it's the first game, but they still have the ball and possession of the ball.
Yeah, I think the trapper just got a wee bit stuck in the turf there,
yeah,
Brad. So obviously well out by the Indians here, and they look to counter again, but the Māoris will be ruining that opportunity, especially if the Indians can make something of this attack up the other end.
Yep, this is exactly what we wanted to see. End-to-end opportunities both sides, and some pretty impressive hockey skills, as you see Tenga lay the ball out there to Mitch Murray, who's just turned it back into Te Hiraka Chase.
Beautiful ball.
They forced a save out of the Indian goalkeeper, and a good bit of shoulder to shoulder. You love to see it.
You love to see it. We've talked about the rivalry of this game. I couldn't tell you when these two teams last played, Brad. I'm not too sure if you know either, but it's fantastic to see such an amazing sort of cultural and the history of these two organisations coming together and really putting on a show for us here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Both organisations, New Zealand Māori Hockey and New Zealand Indian Sports, have long held their national tournaments, and it's always been a case of wanting to see the two play against each other. So it is awesome that we finally get to see it. I would love to see this happening more often. These sort of showcases for our sport, I think, are awesome for those communities, especially to create the pathways for Māori players, for Indian players, into our New Zealand Black Sticks at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and you talk about a showcase of our sport, and it's probably a nice opportunity to actually welcome in some worldwide viewers. Obviously, we've got this stream currently happening on what the FYH's Watch.Hockey app, which goes worldwide, so it's fantastic to see this event being broadcasted around the world. Obviously, hockey is lucky to be played here in New Zealand. We're in a beautiful position in our wonderful country that we can play some competitive hockey and experience the life that we can. I know it's a bit of a struggle for hockey overseas and life in general at the moment with what's happening in the world. So we're really grateful to be here today and put on a showcase for you wherever you're watching. We hope you enjoy our coverage here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly lucky to be able to put on this tournament and have live sport happening in our country, and for FIH to pick up this and show it internationally, as well as skysportnext showing it across our country here, and the massive support we've got from One Foundation in putting this tournament together. There's nothing else like it happening in the world, so it's important that we showcase what we've got in New Zealand.
Just a nice little transfer through the middle here, through to Dylan Thomas, but well defended again by the Indians. I think they've defended really well here to start with. Sort of ball or nothing sort of tackling, and really liking the way they've started this match here. Yeah,
the Indian side traditionally have very good hand-eye coordination. Their stick ball is terrific, and in the defensive work, like you say, they will be ball and all tackles, and if they do come off, and if it does work, they are very clean in their defence. As the game tires on, we may look to see some of these not come off, and that will open up opportunity. But traditionally, they are very good in their stickball work.
Absolutely, and they're probably led by none other than the Panchier brothers, obviously of Indian descent, and Aaron, obviously recently retired from the Vantage Black Stick setup. a fantastic defender, central defender for many years, and still applying his trade. So definitely some great ambitions from Aaron and Jared, and also Junior as well. So a great family to come through the Indian sports setup as well.
Absolutely, it's we would have loved to see them here playing in the tournament, especially here at Southern Districts. But I'm sure they are role models certainly in this Indian hockey community. And even Aaron, I know, who has taken up some coaching roles with Auckland Hockey for the upcoming season, as he continues to influence our hockey community and pathways. So, great family, great set of guys, and I believe we do have a Panchia playing in the women's game later on today. So it'll be awesome to see that family is involved in some part.
Absolutely. As we see the Indians again, it's a nice bit of a circle penetration, a bit of a squeeze shot, and they earn themselves a penalty corner. So, the Indians, what are we going to see from the top here, Brad?
Look, I would expect similar, hopefully with some better execution than the Maori side, but I would expect anything on cage is a good look here. They'll want to test Harley out. Now, he is a big, tall, long goalkeeper, so he will cover a fair bit of the cage, which allows his defenders to be aggressive. So I would expect that the Indian side will want to look for the second chance opportunity. He does get in the way of a lot of shots, so if they can pick up what comes off the save, I think there's an opportunity there. Now they've set up, by the looks, with two brackets at the top, similar to the Maori side. It looks like we've got Xavier Guy on the second.
I think that looks like Natish Suka also on the ball there, number 10 for the Indians.
Yeah,
in the
that's
first
correct.
bracket. So I reckon we might see a straight flick here, which it looks like we're going to. We've got the flick off, down the line, rebound, squeeze shot. What do we reckon? We're going to go free hit out.
Yep, they've called
What
free
do you
hit
reckon,
out.
Brad?
Look, I think it's probably exactly what I expected. A first up save on a flick, and then trying to pick up second chance opportunity. Now, Harley made a great first save. But like I said, he is big, and if he's going down, it's going to be tough to get back up. It's unfortunate they struck the player on the second shot, because I do think it probably was potentially going to go goalward, but it is dangerous, and above anything, safety in our sport is paramount, and it is the right decision. But I do want to see them continue that strategy, because it definitely did create a second opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of the Indians may have thought of maybe another penalty corner out of that, but as you say, the ball was dangerous up. But speaking of dangerous, here's another dangerous attacking chance for the Maori side. But Indians, again, well defended as we tick down to 3.5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Yep, and there's the aerial ball out again. As you talked about, tried to get into the landing zones there, didn't quite pay off, but will allow the ball to go over the back, and it's better than an Indian player picking up possession. So small adjustment there. Unfortunately, they may have double turned the ball over, and Māori team keep possession at the back.
Some would say a bit of a coach killer, the double turnover, Brad. You do all the hard yards to make a tackle, make an intercept, and then you turn it straight back over.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly doesn't. It causes the grey hairs in the coaching box, and for especially the midfielders who have to do a lot of work. That double turnover adds to the Ks on their legs in a game, and if you're having to do too much of that, certainly in the first and second quarters, it is going to tire on in the later parts of the game. So trying to create less of those and ensure that you have 100% completions after you win possession is important. It's going to be hot out there. It is a sunny day, so keeping reserves in the bank and not wasting energy on double turnovers is going to be key here.
Yeah, absolutely. You speak about those grey hairs. I think, as we say, get the heart rate up on the coaches, as will Xavier Guy's fantastic carry through the middle of the field. The Māori side sort of just decided to sort of hold their zones a bit wider and gave that channel for Xavier to carry the ball through and earns himself a penalty corner. So the Indians, second penalty corner here. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Yep, as we see a quick replay of that, it was a little tackle just before that clearance that was judged as being an illegal tackle, so we will give the Indian side a chance at a second penalty corner. Looks like we've still got Nitesh set up at 1, and we've got Divan set up at 2, so Xavier not on the bracket.
Xavier's dragging here, so I think we'll see Nitesh again try and get something goalward as we switch up the brackets. Nitesh will come off too. Beautifully placed right in that bottom left-hand corner. What a flick, what a goal. 1-0 to the Indian side.
Yeah, phenomenal. I think the late switch of brackets for Nitesh there, as we see it's gone. Yes, he's moved to the right, flicked it back down to the bottom left corner as we look at it. The goalkeeper's right. Very hard to save.
It's exactly what the Indians want as they close out this first quarter as we tick down to under a minute to go. What a time to strike just leading into the quarter break. Of course, they want to defend this last 45 seconds pretty strong and head into that break with a 1-goal lead.
Yep, we always talk about the periods right before and after breaks, as well as right before or after goals. They'll be stoked with that to get into a break with the lead. In what's been a little bit of an end-to-end game, they'll be pleased with. The Maori team attempt to apply some pressure, but that is the end of our first quarter. What do we reckon, Regan? Is it what you expected?
Yeah, well, we expected the Indians to come out firing here. I think they probably would have had the better of that quarter, and I think the goal really will have Yoga Shihari, the coach, very happy at the end of that first quarter. I think the Māoris were a bit unlucky, maybe a couple of passes to go in that sort of first attacking third, maybe, so they could have stuck some different options. But I think they'd be pretty happy, the Indian side, heading in here. What do you think Boss Edmund's message will be for the Māoris at half-time?
Yeah, look, I think they've got to do something to counter that overhead ball. It keeps happening. We did see a small adjustment at the end there, but I think they can still do better at getting possession off those long balls, or just cutting off the Indian team's ability to throw and receive that overhead ball. I think he'll also want to see a little bit more composure in the attacking third. The Māori side will have the tendency to try and take players on one-on-one, but the Indian defence is proving too good for that, certainly in the first part of this match. So I would like to see them, and I expect Boss will be saying for them to get the pass rate up in the attacking third, work off the ball to give the ball carrier some options so that they can create a little bit more of a genuine opportunity in the attacking third.
Yeah, I think you're right on that overhead ball. I think the Indian side really used that well. They sort of hit those pockets in behind the midfield line, which had the Māori side with their backs turned running at the goals. So I think that's a great tactic that the Indians have used so far. So we'll see if the Māoris have addressed that, and we'll get ready for the second quarter here.
Yep, absolutely. So our score is 1-0 to the New Zealand Indian men's side. Goal scorer was Nitesh Suka off a penalty corner. As we come back out to the second quarter of action, I think we may see the Māori side try and turn it up a little bit more. I think they'll be disappointed to concede late in the quarter. So let's see them use the first couple of minutes to get a handle back on the game. I can see Tenga Rangitoa has come back out onto the field to start this quarter. Let's see his leadership and direction, and as they attempt to even the game back up as quickly as possible.
Perfect, as we get the whistle to get us back underway here. The second quarter here at Kolmar out in Papatoetoe in Auckland for the inaugural New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament.
There we go, that's what we wanted to see. So aerial ball goes up, and we get the Māori defenders in there nice and early in the zones to counter that. Obviously, the ruling there is the defender does get a right of the ball if he's there first and stationary in those landing zones. So it looks like there has been some adjustments made there. As we see the ball just being swung around the back by the New Zealand Māori team. We talked about periods of possession earlier being important to either side. As that last pass kind of breaks down again as we go into the attacking third.
As we see the Indians just with a sideline hit here, you think they'll just sort of try and hold on the ball here again. They've got the lead, sort of move the ball around, hold the ball, have the Māori strikers run at them, I think. So obviously the Māori strikers are led with their press by Dylan Thomas, who'll be really looking to have that aggressive press going forward, keep them to one side, Brad, and really look to sort of close in on those halves and put the pressure on.
Yeah, it absolutely looked like Dylan Thomas is attempting to split the press there their back four. So what needs to happen though is outside strikers need to assist in making sure the ball doesn't get back around the back. Now, the Indian side did get the ball back into the midfield there, which will be disappointing, but we've got an attack here with Dylan Thomas.
Yeah, brilliant lead by Dylan Thomas. Gets the ball back. Got a shot at goal here. Oh, great save.
Fantastic save, and that is the leading off the ball that I think Boss would have been talking to his players about. So Tutirangi Rahuruhi picked the ball up there on the baseline and found Dylan Thomas again with another pass. That's the extra pass I think they needed in that first quarter. It'll be interesting to see if that continues and becomes more successful.
Yeah, and we talk about the leading. We just saw from Dylan Thomas there, he sort of took his defender infield and then he used his speed to get outside him and left the defender high and dry, which is key for all young strikers and any strikers. You really got to move your defenders around and really corrupt the zone that they're holding. So I think that's very well done from Dylan Thomas, and just to get in behind this Indian defence as the New Zealand Maori side look to search for an equaliser here.
Yeah, they're going to want to turn it up. They're not going to want to play long periods of this game behind on the scoreboard. So as we see here, a little bit of a breakdown. Nitesh with the ball at the back, and Alex Dio from the Collegians Hockey Club in Hamilton. Great to see him up here in the Indian men's side.
Yeah, we see the Indians again travelling down this left-hand flank as we have a circle entry for them here. What can they make of? Well defended there by the New Zealand Māoris. Not panicking in that circle. There's nothing worse, Brad, than panicking in that defensive circle and giving away a soft penalty corner, is there? Yeah,
absolutely. I think that was Te Hiraka Chase down there on the baseline tackle. He's very, very calm, very cool under pressure. He won't want to give away those cheap free hits. He's played some National Hockey League for Midlands, so he will know what to and what not to do in that defensive area as the Māori team break through Tutirangi Rahuruhi, and it's turned back over.
Again, the scramble D of the Indian side here is fantastic. I think Nitesh, number 10, as we say at the centre back, is really looking to sort of control his defensive unit, I feel, and he's doing a very good job so far, Brad. I think, the Indians are led well by him when he's in the middle of the field. Yeah,
absolutely. It's great to see. He's still fairly young, and it's awesome to see him take a commanding role in this side. Now, it's only going to be good things for both the New Zealand Indian side and our New Zealand age group sides as he progresses through those pathways, that he gets these leadership roles early, and having this opportunity at this tournament is exactly what it's about. So it's great to see Nitesh very vocal on the field. He is directing guys around, and it's an awesome opportunity for him at his age to lead a national side.
As we see, the Indians again putting on the pressure here against the Māoris. We've got a free hit just outside as umpire Dan Burt will just sort of control it here, calm the boys down. It's just a free hit, so we'll look to see it from the umpires all we can there, Brad. Just sort of controlling things and just letting the boys play hockey, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate to be in the umpires meeting this morning, and that was what was discussed. There is going to be some passion, there's going to be some flair. Guys they're going to care about this. It is their culture and pride on the line. So the umpires will do a fantastic job this weekend in allowing the guys to play, not over managing those situations, but keeping them under control if they do get too heated or past the line of passion.
Absolutely, and sounds like you're the privileged man to join the umpires meeting. So we've got an inside man here, so great to get that inside knowledge from the umpires. And as we look to see, we've got 7 umpires here throughout the week, so it's great to see this also well supported by our umpires.
Yeah, absolutely, and we do have some class umpires out here, and it's as the Māori team have an attacking opportunity through Tai Wihare. Catches the defender out there, and we've got an entry. But well defended and cleaned up again by the New Zealand Indian side. It seems to be the flavour of the first half. The Māori side can't quite get those opportunities to stick, and they're being cleaned up. So we see a little bit of skill through into the attacking third here by the New Zealand Māori side.
It's almost that last pass, Brad, that we talked about at quarter time. It's the Māori doing all the hard yards to get into this attacking circle in 23, but it's just falling at the last pass, but hopefully we can see a creation of something here through Dylan Thomas on the baseline.
All right, and Dylan Thomas has won them a attacking penalty corner. The Indian side don't seem too happy about it. Their defenders thinking not at all, but that is the whistle, and it has blown. So the New Zealand Maori side will have an opportunity here to hopefully even things back up. Now, first penalty corner not executed terrifically well. Looks like we've got Jacob Belkake set up on the first and Stephen Atkinson set up on the second. Again, we want to put some pressure on the goalkeeper here.
So we see the ball to bracket 2 to Thomas and Stephen Atkinson.
That is a great save there. It's solid flick. It was probably on target or nearabouts. So a great save there by the Indian goalkeeper.
Yeah, regulation save there for the Indian keeper, I think. But being a sort of a taller keeper, Brad, do you think a flick kind of low would be a bit of a dangerous option, as we saw Nitesh sort of utilise against Harley at the other end?
Absolutely. I think when you've got these taller, bigger goalkeepers who have the advantage of being able to reach, the highs of the goal, is really punishing them in those low corners and expecting them to get down to the ground quickly and then potentially back up again. So I might want to see the Māori side, if they have another attacking corner here, is just test those low areas and see what skill set and abilities this goalkeeper has. As Nitesh, again, we've talked about him, cleans up, but the double turnover.
As you say, Brad, double turnover, story of the game so far, I feel, but the Indians will get a reprieve here as an unforced error from the Māori side at the back of the stick there on the wee dink pass out. So Indians look to just settle things down here as we get halfway through the second quarter here at Colmar. Beautiful day, the crowd's building. Really exciting to be here, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in Auckland for the Easter weekend, we've got hockey all weekend, so come on down and support this wonderful event.
Yeah, this little midfield battle that's brewing here is one I want to see develop. So we've got Xavier Guy from the New Zealand Indian side and Tingarangi Tauira, who we spoke about earlier in the broadcast, just starting to get a little bit of a one-on-one matchup in there. Now, Tenga has pushed himself forward a little bit up the field as they search for that equaliser or to build some pressure. So watch the matchup between 13 for the New Zealand Indian side and Tenga, the captain, number 12 for the New Zealand Māori side, as they just battle for midfield dominance there.
So we've got another corner here for the New Zealand Indian side. A little bit of a wee foot there, I think, is what umpire Bert's got here, and the Māoris, they'll head behind and put on their protective gear, and we'll look to see the Indians again. We've seen Nitesh up there again in that bracket, and I believe Xavier Guy's back on, so we may see him set up on a bracket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the go-to is here. They've had two flicks certainly on target and both low. Nitesh has set back to the first with Xavier on the second. Now we did see Nitesh late switch on their last penalty corner. Let's see what tricks they may have in the bag here.
Again, we see the other switch. Nitesh again. That's brilliantly saved off the line there by the postman, I believe, there, Brad.
Yeah, it looked like Tufari Hapi down there on the defensive left post. Now, interesting little counter-attack here as the New Zealand Māori team go forward immediately after the attacking corner. They've got an attacking free hit.
One of the most dangerous times is the counter-attack corner, isn't it, Brad? Of course, the other team's all up trying to get themselves a goal, and to have the team come straight back at you in a matter of two passes.
Yep, absolutely.
Again, just that last pass sort of falling off for the Māori side, and the Indians,
they work their way out again through Xavier Guy. Brilliant pass. I just want to very briefly talk about that penalty corner for the Indian side. Interesting to see Nitesh move across to the second bracket and then wrap back around to pick it up off the first. Almost a double switch there as the Māori side have a great opportunity through Dylan Thomas. They retain possession with Tenga. And unfortunately turned over by a little foot there with Taimana Iverson as the Indian side again clean up and manage to get themselves out with Nitesh Suka on the ball.
Again, I'm a big fan of this aerial ball that's coming out of the back for the Indians. They're really using it well, and it's showing in the way they're attacking forward. There, Brett Menez on the ball, down the other end. Again, they've earned themselves another corner, Brad, and I think that's just showing that aerial ball. We've cut 60 metres of the field with one ball, and the Indians are in behind.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if it's something that Nitesh has noticed in Tenga playing higher in the midfield, that pocket does open up in behind him. So one of the, I guess, the downfalls of playing a high press or your midfielders up is there is some space in behind there, and Nitesh has found that as the Maori side look to assert a little bit of pressure on the defensive unit, it's just to throw the ball in behind and create some opportunities going forward, and it's paying off for them. They've earned themselves another corner here.
And again, we've got the same two gentlemen at the top, Xavier Guy and Nitesh. And we see the ball come to Xavier Guy this time. Puts it down the line. Saved by Harley Copper in goal. And we have a reset here.
Again, it's one of those high flicks. We talked about being fairly bread and butter for our two tall goalkeepers here. See if they change up.
Sort of a bit of a miscommunication there at the top. Again, saved on the line. Another corner. Sometimes those miscommunications can be the deadly ones there, Brad. They sort of, you don't know what to do and just shovel it goalwards, and it can turn out quite well. But we've got another corner here.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, you often expect, clean trap, clean flick, see the ball. When things break down, you kind of got to search a little, so they can work.
Again, we've got Guy through to Suka. Beautiful goal, planned move. Nitesh Suka grabs his second one of the game for a 2-0 lead for the New Zealand Indian side.
Yeah, that's a well-executed set play. You can tell that they've worked on that, or they've done that before. A tight little variation out of the first bracket leaves the goalkeeper not a lot of chance there as the flick comes from a whole lot closer. Harley will be disappointed, but it is a fantastic attacking corner.
Yeah, absolutely. As we saw Xavier Guy sort of have a bit of that dummy flick that got Harley down to the ground, and then it just opened up the net for Suka to bury home his second for a 2-0 lead for the Indian side.
Yeah, they are using, I think, two skills extremely well. The long ball out of the back, the overhead aerial ball, and some pretty tidy execution in their attacking penalty corners, which as a coach you rue the opportunities you miss, especially in that attacking penalty corner and those set pieces. So Yogesh will be stoked that they are completing at that end of the pitch.
Yeah, and almost a carbon copy of the first goal right before the break, and the Indians again, they'll look to just hold the ball and hold out this Maori attack here until half time, and they'd be more than happy with the 2-0 lead at half time, I feel.
Now that's the second time we've seen James Hickson, number 14 there, who's playing as an outside defender, just eliminate a couple of Indian defenders there. Now the disappointing thing for the Maori side is they're not giving him the last pass off his carry, but do look to see him potentially carry the ball forward. If we can create some pass options off him, there may be some danger in there.
There's nothing better than seeing a defender come forward and eliminate a few defenders, is there? Get a shot of the circle.
Absolutely. The eyes light up. I don't think they know what the curved line going forward looks like. So as they pass the three straight ones, it's often eyes light up and they only see the goal. As we see a little touch pass through here from Tai Wihare to Hedawini Overson.
See if we can make an opportunity of this. Got a save out of the Indian goalkeeper there.
Yeah, nice little pass from Hedawini to his brother, actually, Taimana, who ended up with the shot. But again, fairly regulation save from the Indian goalkeeper, and the Indian side get out with a fairly easy free hit.
Yeah, again, we talked about coach killers early on, and I know for myself, Brad, a coach killer is a striker coming back into defensive duties and just a lazy tackle to throw the stick out, the other card materials that you don't need before half-time, especially when you're down. Obviously, no card given there, but obviously something to be aware of for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of those kind of any of those kind of cheap cards, especially while you're chasing a game, they do really kill you. There's nothing worse than being players down, but also being under scoreboard pressure as this attack breaks down. And like you say, the Indian side probably just hold possession, work their way out to the second half, the second break, with a happy little 2-0 lead.
As we see the end of the first half here for the first game of the New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament, we see the New Zealand Indian side leading 2-0. Both goals coming to Nitesh Suka from the penalty corner set up. And we have a half-time break here of 5 minutes. But Brad, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised and pleasantly surprised at how well the Indian side is sticking to a pretty obvious game plan. You know, they are looking aerial and long out of the back, and it is paying off for them at the moment. The New Zealand Maori defence just haven't quite been able to eliminate that aerial danger, and it's paying off. They're creating attacking opportunities, they're getting penalty corners, and as I talked about in that quarter, they're executing at penalty corner time, which will be pleasing to their team and to their coach. In this 5-minute break here, it's often time for teams to reset. You know, we'll often speak about it being back to 0-0, and anything can happen in the third and fourth quarters. What do you think, Regan, that the boss Edmonds will be saying to this Māori side? How are they going to get back on track here?
Yeah, I think defensively, just the way they set up with their press, I think they'd look to hold that midfield just maybe 10 metres back just to really combat the aerial ball. But also, I think moving forward, he'd want a bit more execution out of the strikers and out of that last pass going forward. I think that's the key for the Māori side. Couple more corners and they'll come. I think it's not panic stations yet for the Māori side. We've seen how quickly goals can be scored in this game, and definitely not out of this, but I think they'd like to start the second half with a bit of a bang, I think, Brad. Yeah,
absolutely. It's we talked about the periods before and after breaks, and I think the team that comes out and stamps some authority on these first 5 minutes of the next quarter will do a great job in getting to the finish line. Now, if that means the Indian side put a third away, they will really fly into the third and fourth quarters and be strong. If the Māori side can stamp that authority, we're in for a very exciting second half of this match. Now, it's not won or lost by any means, but I would like to see some improvements in that attacking third from the New Zealand Māori side. As you mentioned, Regan, the last pass and what's happening in and around the circle edge, I think, is what's letting the side down. They have had a couple of opportunities, but probably not of high quality, and even the attacking penalty corner, certainly the first one that they did have, was again a lost opportunity due to execution. So I think Boss will be talking about the detail in that attacking third, and if they can clean up eliminating that overhead aerial ball defensively, those will be two key points in seeing them try and come back in this match. Now, are there any players out there that have stood out to you? We've obviously mentioned Nitesh. Is there anybody else doing bits for either side that you've been impressed with so far?
Yeah, obviously Nitesh, we've spoken about it at length so far, the way he's sort of holding the back, and we've talked about Brett Menez sort of going forward and with the ball, but I've also been impressed, Brad, with the goalkeeper, Dylan Patel, for the Indian side. He's been called upon so far to make a couple of saves, but he's just not panicking, and he's really obviously kept them in this game, but I've been very impressed with him so far, the way he's handled the game. Towards the Indian side, I've also been impressed by Tinga, obviously the skipper leading from the front, but also Nick Parada running up front, as well as Dylan Thomas, that we've spoken on many a times. But what about yourself? Who's shone the light for you, Brad?
Yeah, I've liked the way all of the Indian defenders have tidied up and cleaned up well at the back. I've been very impressed by their back defensive unit and how calm they have been against a Māori side that are coming, chasing a game. So that whole back unit have been impressive. Now, as we see on the vision there, Harley Cooper being very vocal and very direct with the Māori side there. He will be setting pretty high standards, as it looks like Ngā Tanawaka may be coming out to play the second half. and Boss there just finishing up the message. The boys are going to have to come out and, like I said, stamp some authority on this first 5 minutes of the third quarter. As the teams come out here, yes, we do have a change in goalkeepers for the New Zealand Maori side. So Ngātana Waka from the Aces Club and Ngāpuna in Rotorua. He's coming out to tend the cage for the Maori side. And it looks like we have the same goalkeeper for the Indian side.
Of course, you speak about the mighty Rotorua Aces, Brad. They're well represented here this weekend, aren't they? Obviously, winners of the Midlands Intercity competition last year, and they're a very rich club in New Zealand hockey history. They've been around for a couple of years and they're a very strong side, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So we see Te Hiraka Chase, Tengarangi Tauira, I spoke about Ngātana, Tūwhare Toa Hapi, Hoi Te Matai Ngātai, Tūtirangi Rahuruhi. There are a full complement of our Aces men out here, and probably some more that hadn't it been for injury, and speaking of Connor and Jury Hedawini, would probably be here as well. They do have a very rich history, both in hockey, but certainly in Maori hockey, as we see Tūwhare Toa here with the ball at the back. And that's Stephen Atkinson. Now, look for him to just push his way into the midfield there. He did play a couple of seasons over in the UK and is a very talented player. As the Māori side go forward into the attacking circle.
He's got an opportunity here for the Māori side. Can they make anything? No, not quite again, Brad. We've spoken about that sort of last pass, but obviously nothing coming there. The Indians survive again. They look to outlet here.
That's it. I think the ball carrier there was just looking for somebody to be out in front of the goal, and the only person he found there was an Indian team defender, which is disappointing because it was brilliant build-up work. As we see, Tenga has pushed himself even further forward and really getting into that press, expecting his defenders to do the work behind him. As the Indian side just bring a few more numbers into their attack.
Again, well defended by the Māori side as they look to have a bit of a counter-attack here through Thomas up front. See if he can link up, and it's well kept in there. Although the Indians, again, the scrambled D's really impressed me today, Brad. They haven't panicked, but they've got the job done when required.
I think they've been. I think it's probably been the highlight of their game is their scramble defence and their ability to break down and attack without fouling. They're winning possession most of the time as the goalkeeper's called into action there, and again they get out of jail. Like I said, I've been very impressed so far with the Indian side's defence and their ability to counter the Māori attack. As we see that aerial ball again, not able to be brought down, but the intent is still there, and it pulls the Māori defence back and just makes it a little bit easier for the Indian side to get out.
So we see the Indians pulling out to a half-court press here, which is a wee bit different to what we had in the first half. Obviously, they've got a bit of a lead here, so they want to hold their legs, but also they're going to really try and force this New Zealand Māori side to hit long and try and pick them off in the midfield. Yeah,
as we see a nice little over aerial there directed at the circle. There's a little bit of a scramble down there. Again, the Indian side clean up, but the Indian side looking like they've pulled out to a half court, but breaking out with some real speed here. And that is, again, I mentioned him, that's James Hickson on the ball. He's just got it through to Hoi Te Matai Ngātai.
So we see the New Zealand Māori side just sort of trying to control the game here. I think they've started pretty well here for the second half. They want some rewards for their efforts.
Yeah, they're certainly playing at the right end of the field. It's just if they can connect, like we spoke about at the halftime break, if that little bit there, they need to iron those bits out of their game because they're turning the ball over where they really need to create that last pass. I talked about the calmness of Te Hiraka Chase there as he turns Kelly and Jerem around, but the Indians have won the ball back and are in The old arm wrestle of double turnover hockey, and there it is again. We talked about it as a coach killer. As you see, one side trying to push for the game, those sort of mistakes are gonna happen. So if the Maori side can't keep periods of possession and cherish the ball, they are going to struggle to find that the equalising goals that they need.
Exactly, and as you say that, we just see another double turnover coming forward again. Jerem through to Guy, into the baseline. And that's a fantastic goal. Xavier Guy, cool, calm, collected, turns the ball over top of the circle, bang, bottom corner, 3-0 Indians.
Yeah, as we see the little replay here, the Māori side just weren't able to clean it up, and when you allow somebody with the skills of Xavier Guy to have an open shot from the top of the circle, you aren't giving yourself many chances there. So fantastic finish, and it puts the Indian side up 3-0.
Yeah, the skills of Xavier Guy shone on display here today. He's New Zealand Under-21 Player of the Year last year. He's played a few games with Vantage Black Sticks. All that experience on show so far, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been quality. As the Indian side, again, with the ball coming forward, Māori team unable to clean up. And great save there by Ngā Tanawaka in goal for the Māori side. Again, we just see the difference in defence here. The New Zealand Indian side very good at cleaning up and picking up those loose ball in their defensive area. The New Zealand Māori side struggling with it, and that's just creating those little half opportunities there as the ball is free or loose in the attacking circle, and they're being made pay for it at the moment.
So we see the Indian side again just turn the ball over, but Parata will look to carry the ball out here. Brett Menez will chase him down there, but Brett looks pretty fresh out there. Obviously, he's a Hawapakaranga lad along with myself, and last night he didn't come to training, and the boys ran a 1600, so it's good to see he's looking fresh out there. I'm glad he saved his legs.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody may have given him a wee heads up as to the training plan for the evening, and now it wouldn't be like Brett to skip a fitness session before a game. But I think it's paying off for him at the moment because he is looking good out there.
As again, we see the Indians just sort of getting in behind the New Zealand Māori defence here, looking to really stretch them out, see if they can build on this 3-goal advantage, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. They're certainly not parking the bus, and if we knew anything about either of these teams, I don't think that was ever going to happen. They both want to score goals and more goals. The best way to win a game, score more goals than the other team. So I don't think we'll see the Indian side take the foot off at all here. If they've got an opportunity to go, they will go, and that breeds exciting hockey, and that is what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. As we see them again, just sit in that half-court press and try and really entice the Māori side to hit long, which obviously can pay dividends if the Māoris hit and turn the ball over, but it's also a bit of a dangerous game if that long ball does connect, and the dangerous ball in behind the defensive unit can be a goal coming in no time. As we see the Māoris again just attacking through that left-hand channel out for a long corner.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Tūwharetoa Hapi, who has just gone off the field. He does possess the long ball ability, certainly a deceptive sweep it out of the back, and if it can find its intended targets, it can be dangerous. As the Indian side turn the ball over there with a little back stick, it gives the Māori side an opportunity to attack. And again, that's that little clean-up defence I've been talking about and been so impressed. Turns into attack here.
It's well defended there by the Māori team there, though. I think they didn't panic. They had a couple of strikers running at them, but just held their heads, keep them out wide.
Yeah, as we see the Indian side on the ball at the back with Alex Dio there. Natesh again. The Maori side really swarming there and forcing turnovers out of isolated players. They may feel a little unlucky there. It looks like some of the players thought there was an infringement. Referee saying no deal.
It's the key, isn't it? The referee doesn't give you a deal. Yeah, you're no good. So play on.
Yep, that's it. We all play to the whistle. We'd all love to have one every now and then, but it's our team in pink that ultimately control what it is they do and don't see, and do and don't blow. So you just have to suck it up and keep playing as the Māori side come forward through Te Heraka Chase and in with Tingarangi Tauira there, have earned themselves a free hit, a penalty corner.
Penalty corner time.
Fantastic.
Again, we saw a couple of corners two corners in the first half from the Māori side. We had one sort of mistrap, and then the second was a flick high. I'd like to see a low flick sort of in that bottom corner, get that keeper stretched out. Brad, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think we've put enough, the Māori side have put enough pressure on him to get down and get low, so I too would like to see something there. Looks like Jacob Balkake is on the first bracket, who, as I mentioned, did score a ripper of a high goal in the New Zealand Māori final last year, and it has gone to him.
Again, saved by goalkeeper Patel there.
Yeah, it didn't look like Jake picked that up as much as he'd like to. Kind of looked to roll off his stick, so he'll be disappointed with that, and it is another opportunity that the Māori side have missed, but they still have the ball until now.
We speak about Jake Balkake, and obviously a name very familiar for a lot of people in the New Zealand hockey scene, the Kakes and the Bells. Obviously Tina Bell, very well respected Vantage Black Stick player through the 90s, and obviously a well-respected coach now. And I believe she's coaching the New Zealand Māori Tāna Wahine team. So
yes.
Obviously a family affair.
Yeah. Look, both Tina and Mark having huge parts in New Zealand hockey, both as players, coaches, administrators. I believe Tina's at Counties Hockey, or has been for the last little while, and seeing her son Jake out here, and even their older son Mark in previous years for the New Zealand Māori side. It's awesome to see the family culture, certainly in both of these sides. But yeah, we will see Tina's coaching exploits in the upcoming match between the New Zealand Māori Wahine team and New Zealand Indian Women's.
Yeah, of course, Mark not out here today, but the last call of hockey I did, Brad, Mark turned up for the Dunedin Club final, and he booked a flight to come down that actually landed halfway through the final. So Mark turned up to play a final and arrived at half-time, got on the field and got a yellow card within 3 minutes.
Now, I would love to say that doesn't sound anything like Mark, but I'd be lying to you, and that is exactly the Mark we all know and love. Funnily enough, he probably did it without shin pads on. So the Indian side trying to push forward here.
Ball. Wow, saved there by the keeper there. Did well to rush the attack there and smother that, really shutting down that angle.
Yep, Ngātana Waka very good on his feet there, as we see ball in front of him. Oh, anyone around the park, you can hear it starting to get a little bit chippy. It's getting louder. The players are, we'll call it passionate. But I think the more than anything, this Māori side will start to get pretty desperate to get a point on the board and make something of this contest. So we will see some passion, we will see some flair, but exactly what we expected between these two sides.
Yeah, exactly, as you say. I don't know who would have picked an Indian 3-0 lead going into the third quarter, but they've thoroughly deserved that, as again they come forward really looking to utilise that counter-attack.
Yeah, absolutely. I've looking at the side on paper, as we mentioned, there were some guys we probably would have liked to see out here, and but this Indian side have been fantastic today. Nitesh has led them very well from the back with, again, another aerial ball coming forward, and you've already seen the exploits of Xavier Guy and Kelly and Jerem up the front. I think they've had a game plan. They've played to it very well so far, and they'll want to close this match out as strong as possible.
Again, as the Indians look to just keep them in this pocket here.
Yep, the Maori side doing a well enough job to keep possession. We see James Hickson on the ball, Stephen Atkinson with ball at the back, and Shaden Coates. Again, just not able to really build a period of possession there. They swing the ball around the back once and turn it over in their first pass going forward. They'll be disappointed with that. Just not that go forward pass sticking at the moment. And
I wonder if, Brad, if it's almost a sort of panic station's almost setting in for the Māori team. Although there's still a quarter to go, anything could happen, as we know. But maybe I think for the Māori team, especially at the quarter time, they want to just hold the ball rather than forcing it forward sort of straight away. Build the possession, build the phases.
Yeah, I think you can often get caught in the trap of being down 3 and thinking you have to score 3 goals in the next 3 minutes, where you've just got to get yourselves in the position to score the first one. There's still, still a whole quarter and a minute or so here to go in this quarter. It may seem like they're rushing a little bit too much to try and score them all at once, and that's what's kind of breaking things down a little bit. You still, despite what the scorers need to earn the right to score goals at this level, and you can't panic. I know it's easy to say when we're sitting here, but just be patient on the ball, keep periods of possession, build up territory like they have here, and then your opportunities will come from good skill as opposed to just throwing everything at the wall and hoping it sticks. We're not quite at those desperate times just yet.
We've got a penalty corner. Wouldn't the Māori side love to go in with a goal here and really hit that fourth quarter firing? Absolutely.
We talked about these periods right before and after breaks, and this is the prime opportunity for this Māori side to set themselves up for the final quarter. Now, a little bit of an opportune ball into the circle from Te Heraka Chase, but look, every opportunity comes from building possession at the right end of the field. As we see the setup, again, Jacob Balkake at the first bracket, and it looks like Tymon Iverson at the second. Refs call quarter time, so the boys take themselves up there to help.
See, just a reset here. The Māoris are keen to get that ball out in the circle, but
yeah, I think just a little bit before the ready, set, go from Dan Burt down that end.
So we see the whole Māori side out at the edge of the circles.
It's Jacob.
There we have it. Beautifully placed into the side netting. 3-1 here in the third quarter. Boy, did they need that.
Yep, that's the one they really needed. Now, like I said, you can't go out trying to score all 3 at once, but the first one is there. Now it's going to be up to them and how they can control periods of possession in this last quarter. As we see this flick here on the replay, you'll see Jacob at the first bracket. Now, interestingly, the goalkeeper's already set to that defensive side. Now, it's a tactic some teams will use in their defensive corners where they will only set one lineman and the goalkeeper will offset slightly to one side just to make the saving area a little smaller for him, but still went down that side and unable to stop the flick from Jake. So Jake will be stoked with that. He'll get some confidence from that. He's a real confidence player, but it just brings the Māori side back within reaching distance, and it promises an exciting fourth quarter for us here at the first game of our Heritage Hockey Tournament at Colmar in Papatoetoe, Auckland.
Yeah, as you say, it brings them back into this sort of touching distance. Obviously, 2 goals to get here, but Brad, I reckon we've got to strap ourselves in. I reckon the Māori team will come out firing here. The Indians will just sort of want to control the ball, play the game at their pace. As soon as they look to play too fast when they've got a lead, I think that's when they struggle. But it is a trade-off. You can't park the bus at the 2-goal lead, but you don't want to play too frantic. It's that in-between balance, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I still expect to see the Indian side throw the ball aerial and long out of the back, and and build on the back of guys like Callian and Xavier and Brett coming forward. So don't expect that to change too much. What they will need to do is continue their efficient defence and breaking down the Māori attack, because, as you say, this Māori side will come out here buoyed by the goal late in the third quarter and want to go here.
As we get ourselves underway here in Game 1 of the New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament. The fourth quarter, we have the New Zealand Indian side leading 3-1. The Indians with 2 goals to Nitesh Suka and Xavier Guy bagging the third, with the Māori side just getting on the board right before the third quarter break through Jacob Belkake for a 3-1 ball game.
Yep, just a reminder, if we do manage to have a draw at the end of the game here, we will go into a penalty shootout, which is extremely exciting and must-watch TV. There's a long way to go yet in this quarter as the Indian side, like I said, through Callian, look to build going forward.
Yeah, nothing much else there David Oakley could do. It's pretty poor tackle, and they've paid the price, and he knows it, he understands, so Callian earns himself a corner.
Yep, two whare toa happy there. Unfortunately, it's a fresh haircut, not a fresh tackle. He's I hate to say he's known for the old firm, strong tackle. He would have liked to get a little bit more of the ball there than none of it that he did get. He's really left Dave Oakley there no chance but to award a penalty corner. As we see Xavier and Nitesh again up the top for the Indian side. This one's going to be really important for the Māori side to try and keep out, and vice versa, going to really set the Indian side up here in the fourth quarter.
So we see the ball out to Nitesh Suka. Maybe another one, off the shin pads there, I thought, of the first runner. Maybe thought it was a wee bit high, but we'll have a resetted corner here.
Yeah, it looks like Tiherika Chase there got out extremely quickly to contest the shot, but it sounds like it has just come off his shin pad there. So the New Zealand Indian side will get a reset.
So we see it to Guy's bracket this time, and he flicks it down the line. 4-1, what a goal.
Too strong, too fast, not a lot there that Ngātana Waka could do to save that one. As we see the replay here. Low, hard, around the foot area, which as a goalkeeper is tough to move at pace that low and that quick, but puts the Indian side in a fantastic position into this fourth quarter as we see a Māori opportunity. Now 4-1, certainly not the score I predicted, but it's been a great game of hockey so far, and if we see it, the team that has executed better does have the scoreboard lead, which they do deserve so far in this match, as they break out again and look to put some pressure in behind the Māori defence. Earn themselves a free hit.
Yeah, I've been particularly impressed with the Indian sort of composure in the attacking circle. Their set piece clearly is a real threat. I reckon that's an absolute ripper of a goal.
Wow.
Wowee, Carly and Jerem. What a touch that is.
Wow, and that, I would say, probably puts the nail in the coffin there. It is a phenomenal goal. We're sitting right down the line of where that entry ball came, and that has just gone in the side net on the far post, and is a fantastic goal to Callian.
That goal's blown a hole in the back of the net. That's why umpire Oakley had to double check. The ball's gone straight through the back, and wowee, what a goal that is. Yeah, goal of the tournament in game 1, Brad.
It's an early call. It's a big call. I'm gonna hold off from making the claim just yet. I have seen some goal scorers across the other teams. I might give everybody an opportunity to present their goal of the tournament. But it's going to be there at the end of the weekend as pretty high on the list, I think.
Yeah, the score now sits at 5-1 to the Indian side, and again they come relentless. They are this Indian attacking group.
Yeah, like I said, neither of these sides were ever going to be the ones to get a lead and park the bus, and it's awesome to see that in this game, that with the lead, the Indian side still want to go. They still want to push forward. Like I said, goals win games, and they still want to push forward for more. It's exactly what these two styles of hockey, we expected out of them. So, as the Indian side just turn the ball over there, and the Maori team win a free hit out.
Do you reckon they're done, the Indian side? They want another one.
Oh, look, there's 11 minutes. Any striker that tells you they want to play 11 minutes of hockey without scoring a goal's a liar. So I'd say they're trying to score another one. You don't play hockey to sit on your own back line. So they'll want another. Absolutely. Any goal's a good goal here, and they'll be pushing. Don't expect them at all to park the bus. Watch Nitesh still play his directive game out of the back and use his strikers to create opportunities.
As we see Xavier Guy on the ball to sort of control that midfield. I think it's him and Nitesh at the back. I think they've really connected through those layers today and really looked to get those strikers going forward. That's been the key. Yeah,
absolutely. Those two have really controlled the middle of the park. And I said in the lead up, Xavier Guy's been everywhere. He's playing at centre midfield, then he's at the top of the circle scoring a goal, and he's in their attacking corner bracket, and he's doing a fantastic job out there. I think at the moment, looking at one of the best on ground for this first match.
Yeah, I don't think you're far wrong there. It's a tight two-horse race between Xavier Guy and Nitesh Sukkar at the back, I believe. But as you say, we've still got 10 minutes to go. Anything can happen. So we see the Indians again just sort of fall off the outlet there, giving the ball back to the Maori side.
Yeah, I think one thing I've been a little disappointed in this New Zealand Maori side is with them playing a back three, you'd expect them to have either an overload advantage in their midfield or in their attackers, and it just doesn't seem like they've been able to string the passes together in whichever of those overloads they're using to really gain any ascendancy going forward. You'd expect when you play a back three that you've got a little bit more either in the midfield or going forward, and they just haven't been able to use it. Maybe testament to the Indian defence, which, like I said, has been very good.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Brad. It's as you say, they're playing a back three and looking to have that fourth sort of midfielder, but they've struggled to find them today. But I think that's a testament to the way that the Indian midfield's sort of operated. They've sort of controlled it from the first whistle. So fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a tough match out here for the New Zealand Maori side. I think they would have liked to connect a little bit more, as again we mentioned James Hickson having a little bit of a field day when he does go to carry the ball up that left hand side of the field, just unable to connect with his players. As again the Indian side managed to clean up and do enough to stop any genuine attack from the Maori side.
Yeah, as we see ball just dribble over the baseline there. Again, that last pass really letting the Maori side down today, but we'll see what we can string together for the last 8 minutes. Obviously, Brad, it's only game one. This tournament's going to be tight. Obviously, we've got the New Zealand Pacifica team as well as the New Zealand development team here as well, so not done on day one, are you? But definitely the Indians have gone a long way to sort of stamp their mark on this tournament, I believe. So, but as you say, long 4 days of hockey. We've got some fantastic matches, all live and exclusive here through Sky Sport Next and FIH Watchdog Hockey. So make sure you don't miss a moment of these matches here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been awesome that that local Gecko Productions have been able to put on this this stream and feed that we can get out through, as you say, FIH and Sky Sport Next. Local Gecko do an awesome job around local New Zealand events, being able to bring it to you guys in your homes. As we see here, Kelly and Jerem again put the little burners on, and a little bit of confusion. David Oakley giving it the heads or tails, you choose.
Might have just earned a free hit for the dive, the sort of roll over there, so he'd be quite stoked with that one.
I won't tell him you called it a dive. Hockey at its finest. Like I said, I don't think the Indian side are going to stop attacking here. They are more than wanting another one. Yeah. Kelly and Jerem doesn't have a reverse gear. He goes forward and that's it. There's no parking the bus here as ball just goes over the back line, evades the Indian strikers. We see the New Zealand Maori side just stretching out a little higher there. You can see, not on your screen, but we can see on the field here, Nick Parata stretched all the way out to the other circle. Just trying to open up potentially some gaps in behind the Indian midfield for the New Zealand Maori side to potentially play into. But the Indian defence is sliding and covering very well.
Yeah, you speak of Nick Parata out of the Albany Alligators Club in Dunedin, Brad. It's a fantastic club out of there in Dunedin. Produced some great black sticks there and some great humans. So great to see Nick here. As Dylan Thomas has a swipe at goal there.
Not unlike Dylan Thomas to send one near or at the roof of the goal. He does like a speculator. But no points for hitting the side of the goal, unfortunately.
As the Indians again searched for that ball forward, but just sort of well defended there by the Māori side, but it's picked up again by Guy. Finds Jerem, who great drag. Ooh, yeah. Way a bit dangerous there off the keeper and defended out, but God, Kelly and Jerem sold me up the river with that drag as well, Brad.
Yep. I'm glad I'm not out there trying to defend that. Look, he's sold me the dress, the wig, and everything that comes with it, and he's created a little opportunity there. But I think you can just see that, obviously buoyed by a lead, but this Indian side are winning the 50-50. They're running a little harder. They're getting there and making those intercepts, and it's creating opportunities for them as they've got another penalty corner where they've been so deadly from all game. Looks like Xavier Guy's blowing off the second bracket. He just wants it. Single bracket. Brett Menez is up there to trap.
Again, well saved there by the Māori goalkeeper.
Yeah, great save there from Nātana. Another good flick. I think Xavier may have been eyeing up a hat-trick there. Nātana saying no deal. But the Indians keep possession going forward.
Bit of a bobbly ball in the circle there. Those are the dangerous ones, but again, well defended by the Māori side.
Yeah, they're always tough, those ones you don't quite expect to bobble through, and hard to judge, especially under fatigue. You know, we're deep into the fourth quarter here, and some of these guys will be blowing.
Yeah, blowing's an understatement. I'm glad that these guys are out here and not me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned at the start, there is not a lot of cloud here. The sun is shining. It is Easter weekend, so it's still, still what most New Zealanders would call summer. As we come forward, Māori side with a brief opportunity and cleaned up again.
Yeah,
who else?
As you say, Easter weekend. Obviously, everybody else is into the chocolates. These guys are out here working hard on the hockey turf. So, again, a beautiful ball in the circle by the Indians.
Yep, it's getting a little long here. A couple of minutes left in the game. Both sides probably resigned to the fact of which one of them is going to win. As Callian just shows a little bit of trickery there to throw off the Maori defender, keep possession.
Again, good bit of skill by Callian. Oh, keeps it in too. Very well done there.
Yeah, it's between Xavier and Nitesh, they've played phenomenal today. You just see somebody of Callian's stature move that quickly and have that skill set is impressive.
Can we call him experienced at 23?
Yes. In this side, absolutely. We've called Nitesh experienced. We've called Xavier experienced. These guys aren't far off having celebrated their 21st birthdays, and we're talking about them as leaders, which, like I said, is an excellent opportunity for them to be leaders in this tournament and in their Indian team and community at such a young age. Only does good things for the future of both New Zealand Indian hockey and New Zealand hockey. So, yes, they're experienced and they're showing it out here, those three.
Yeah, I think that's been the difference, is sort of the guys that have stood up today for the Indian side. They've played a huge difference in the midfield, but also at the back and up front, but also the Indian team in general. I think they've really gelled together. They've had those passes stick. They've tackled well. They've tackled in twos, tackled in pairs. So, again, good bit of teamwork there by Menez and Callie and Jerem. Back to Brett.
Yeah, it just breaks down there. I think you're right when you say it looks like these guys may have played together. I know a fair few of these guys play for Pukekohe Indian Sports Club, and I know a few of them with the Auckland Indian Sports as well. And I think it is pretty obvious that some of these guys do play a fair bit of hockey together, which in a tournament like this, when the guys come together yesterday, they jump out on the field today, is a massive part of a first game win here as we trail down the last few seconds of the fourth quarter. Indians may go for one more little forage into the attacking third. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is us. That wraps up the first game of the inaugural New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament. It is a strong, convincing victory to the New Zealand Indian side. We have 2 goals to Nitesh Sukha, 2 goals to Xavier Guy, and a goal to Kelly and Jerem. They win 5-1 over the New Zealand Maori side with goal to Jacob Baukake. I've been joined here by Regan Bain. You've been fantastic. Thank you all at home for joining us. Now the next game will be the New Zealand Maori Wahine taking on the New Zealand Indian women, and that game kicks off at 1:35. We will see you back then for another cracker of a game. Thanks.